Hey Scorp, welcome to Lady of the Unknown Oracle. My name is Sophie. If you are new here, welcome in. I hope you find today's reading useful. If you are returning, I'm sending you my whole heart. I am so grateful to have you here with me. If you've been following for a while, I've included a brief life update in the description box below. Video will be coming soon. Alrighty, Scorp, so this reading's for any and all Scorpio placements. Please take this reading as it resonates. Since this is a general reading, it will not resonate for everyone. But if you find that today's reading does resonate, you can find the link to the extended reading in the description box below, along with information about the reading schedule and my personal reading availability. This reading can be applied to any and all situations, including love, career, and personal growth. Alrighty, Scorp. So let's go ahead and jump right into the reading. I had pulled a couple cards for you while I was doing your pre-shuffle, and I kept getting the Three of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. Some of you are juggling a lot at work. Maybe things you're juggling between work, something with work, school, where you give your time trying to do the right thing, something, it needs to feel balanced. You might be getting to the end of a phase or a process. Could be connecting with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Underneath the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. So definitely a feeling here of lacking emotional fulfillment. You are on your way. You've gathered a lot of satisfaction from wherever you are right now, but it's not enough. You feel tempted to move forward, possibly in a direction that separates you from this thing, or you could be trying to find a different way of approaching the situation you're in to be more conducive to fulfillment, right? Whatever this is, you've been putting a lot of time and you're waiting now. The fact that you don't know what comes next is kind of an issue. Best case scenario, things become very clear, okay? So if you have a question, you're waiting to see what exactly the outcome to something is, this feels like something you've invested your time and energy into, Scorp. So you've had a direct impact in this. It's almost like you're asking yourself, is the effort worth it? Okay, the reason everything is happening is because it feels like something happened recently that you've been trying to kind of come back from, right? And it's a delay. Something got delayed. Something is taking longer than it should. Someone may have offered an opportunity of some kind. You realized that there was a different path available to you. So in a sort of way, you're questioning whether continuing to put into your current situation is really worth your time, worth your energy. You're fighting like hell to keep it. It's like at every turn, you're challenged in the situation. Do I want to stay? Do I want to go? And you are feeling like, yes, this is where I need to be. For some of you, I'm getting, if this is love and you are suspicious about someone who has not been completely honest with you, it's not that there's been a lie per se, but the actual topic hasn't been broached. There's curiosity here about whether someone is occupied. I am seeing a Queen of Pentacles involved here. So there could be a mother figure, a boss, a wife who is involved. And this is something that you're not seeing. Okay, so before we jump to the end, let's go ahead and just go through the positions. So currently with the Seven of Pentacles, right? You've been investing, putting a lot of time into something. Energy, time, waiting. You're waiting to see if everything you've done up to this point is really going to manifest in the outcome you were hoping. The block is the Seven of Cups. So what is keeping you from making the decision to stay or go is that you don't know what the long-term repercussions of your decision making will lead to. Okay, so for as many minor arcana there might be, this is very like major arcana, big energy that I'm feeling for you. It's like through the day-to-day motions, the thought, it's like a constant theme in your day-to-day life. And remember, this could be for your relationships, work, school, whatever this is. Now, the best case scenario is the Ace of Swords. So The best case scenario is that you get a direct answer. It is clearly delineated exactly how far you can possibly go if you decide to continue. So that way you can measure the distance between where you are and what's left versus how much better off or worse off you would be by starting over. Right? The reason it's all happening is the Hanged Man. This could be a Pisces that you're connecting with. Someone, though, has held back. They have been prolonging something, delaying something. There has been some kind of a sacrifice or a discomfort, right? Again, it ties back into this feeling here of investing. So it feels, Scorp, like you've just been investing a lot of your time into something that in the long term, because we have the star here, in the long term is a true desire of yours. Right? But something has made you question this delay, in spite of the constant day-to-day work and investment you're putting in. This delay is so big that it's motivating you to question, what am I doing here? Right? What am I doing here? What am I doing? Is this for me? Yes or no? Please tell me so I can make this decision. Hello? Right? Ace of Cups in the recent past. This could have been a love offer from someone. It could have been a job offer for a job that's kind of your dream job. An opportunity to express your creativity, an outlet for you to emotionally connect, something along those lines. It feels like a relief though, Scorp, right? It feels like a relief. It was like that sign of kindness that someone extended you, or an invitation to go out and do something fun. There's a hope attached to this, what happened recently. And it could also be a form of healing that has kind of reinvigorated you in your current situation so that you could get back to whatever you were doing and continue investing your time and kind of sticking to the plan, if that makes sense. If this is love, this is someone who maybe you weren't sure was a good fit for you, and they did something recently or said something recently that made you think, okay, yeah, I could stay. This might work. Or the same thing at work. Maybe the environment you're currently working in is super toxic or kind of close, teetering along the line of toxic and just plain bad. And something happened recently where you're like, maybe I can stay here. Maybe this is for me if I just stick it out a little bit longer. That's the feeling I'm getting here. Coming in, you've got the star. So for some of you, this is an Aquarius. This is about seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You're not there yet, but there is going to be, if not clarity, there will be a more or less guesstimation on what you can expect in the long term. There will also be a feeling here of having to decide if you want to continue moving in this direction. Remember that the star is pretty much the North Star, right? It's what you follow to go home. So even though you're not home yet, you're heading in the right direction. Now, clarifying the star, we have the Five of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the King of Wands. So you could be connecting with an Aries, a Leo, or a Sag. And I was getting a lot of fives when I was doing your pre-shuffle. Okay, I got every 5 except for the Five of Wands. So maybe in terms of conflict, there's not so much of that. But in terms of, am I happy? Am I being manipulated, low-key, to keep myself here? Am I manipulating myself? Am I lying to myself? Is someone lying to me? And I'm just kind of not questioning them. I trust them too much, maybe. A feeling of like something is not right. That's what it feels like. Something is not right. And some of you might be staying because you feel like you're going to be missing an opportunity. And so to prevent that feeling, you are staying. You are deciding to take initiative, be dominant, and just brute force your way through the process. Brute force your way through, listen, he did this, she did that. At work, this happened. At school, this happened, what have you. But truthfully, I know in the end of the day, it's all in my control. And if I want to stay here, I'm going to stay. And if I want to go, I want to go. But it looks to me like part of your inspiration to continue moving forward is coming from a place of not really knowing yet, and that's fine, right? You have to put your energy somewhere. You can't just wander aimlessly. You could, but it's always better to try something and fail than to not try, because ultimately to make any progress you have to find a direction, and often we find that through trial and error. So there is nothing wrong with not knowing where you're going, but picking a direction and going with it, because either it's where you need to be or it's not where you need to be, and so you can kind of course correct. Right? So that's fine. but I definitely see that underlying the action is a little bit of indecision. Now you've got 3 sevens on the table right now, from what I see here. 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, 7 of Wands. 7 of Swords is all that's missing. And when you read tarot, when you have almost every single number of a suit, you want to look at what is not there, because that also is a message in and of itself. 7 of Swords is not here. So if you are asking about whether someone is lying or being deceitful, purposely withholding information from you, the answer to that is no. Okay. This is how you're currently seeing yourself. 7 of Wands. So you are fighting like hell to keep going, to keep fighting, right? You are being challenged by everything and everyone, is what it feels like. People, situations, circumstances. I just want to drop the F-bomb. It's like that feeling of, get off of me. What are you doing? Stop it. I said stop it. You know, it's like that feeling of being surrounded and knowing that you have no control over what is around you, but wishing you did, because you're just so tired, like just annoyed, just so annoyed and so frustrated and exasperated. It's not like you don't lack energy for it yet. If anything, you're being reinvigorated, but it's that fighting spirit. You're just like, get out of my face, get out of my way. Like, don't you see what I'm trying to do? You know, get with me or get out of my way. You know, so in a way I am feeling like you want cooperation in what you're doing, but you are settling with doing it alone if you have to, right? You're okay doing it alone if you have to. So in the environment, you have the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. We have Capricorn energy in the outcome for those of you that are curious. Now, this is what you're not seeing. So this could be someone who will be entering the scene shortly. This is a mother figure. This is kind of like a right-hand man figure as well. Someone who could be your boss, but will be more in a nurturing role. Associate manager comes to mind. For others of you where this is love, you might have suspicion that there is someone involved. Again, the 7 of Swords is not here. So if this woman is in the picture, it's not that the person you're communicating with lied to you. It's that the subject was never brought up. And so it's kind of like a lying by omission. Only since the 7 of Swords is not here, that means that they don't actually feel like they're hiding anything. No one, like you just didn't ask, or it was never brought up. There's no guilt associated with the presence of this person. And yeah, if this is work, this could be someone who is very supportive of your goals, someone who is maybe a mentor, someone who is kind of working with you from the ground up to bring you up to the next level. It's someone that I feel you could really admire. Okay? Again, take it as it resonates, right? Different storylines for different people. This could be somebody whose presence you really admire and you really seek them out when times get tough. They ground you. Your fear is the 4 of Wands, which is interesting. It's a feeling here of not wanting to settle into a position that might make you happy at first, but then in the long term, the foundation is actually very weak. There's a fear of committing to something that won't last. All right. Now, the outcome is the 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords indicates that something that you've been thinking long and hard about is coming to an end. And I know the 10 of Swords sometimes seems very painful, but truthfully, by the time the 10 of Swords is reached, there is a moment right after that last sword strikes that comes a period of peace. Like it's over. Something is released. Okay? With the 10 of Swords, we have clarifying it, the Devil, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. So you could be connecting with a Capricorn here, but ultimately what I am seeing is there's going to be an end, right? We're clarifying the 10 of Swords. So this is mental for you, Scorp. This whole reading here, in spite of the fears, in spite of what might be happening physically, this is very much centered in what you're doing based on what you are feeling you're giving to this versus whether it's worth it, right? Is it worth the shake? You're putting a lot into this. Is it worth it in the long term? Now you're going to put the doubts, the things that you've been attached to, the obsessions for some of you, the addictions for some of you, unhealthy circumstances, unhealthy workplaces, relationships. You're prioritizing your well-being here. At the end, what's happening is whether you choose to stay in this situation or leave it, you are finding a way to look at it and say, well, if I am here, I am going to be here because I damn well do desire to be here, right? You're not forcing me to be here. Because the devil can be kind of like that feeling, right? That trapped, I'm here because you're making me. I'm trapped because there's no way out. I'm choosing you because I'm afraid to be alone. It's that fear. It's that fear-driven decision-making that the devil inspires, right? So you're letting go of that and you're saying, listen, okay, I'm so done. Listen to me. I'm so done with letting you control the way I feel, the way I deal with my day-to-day thoughts, emotions, desires, my dreams. Listen, I'm going to do what is right for me. I'm going to prioritize myself. My well-being is of the utmost importance. For some of you, this is definitely an indication of stability. Absolutely, right? Nine of Pentacles, enjoying the fruits of your labor. I will say a warning for some of you, if you are pushing through a really challenging situation, I am foreseeing some kind of a burnout mentally. You might be excited by the jolt of maybe this promotion or this new thing that's offered to you, right? That might kind of lift you up for a quick minute, but in the background, you might not even realize that the level of exhaustion, the level of burnout is really the word that comes up for me. It's like a cycle that makes you want to double back and stay, because once you get comfortable and once that devil energy kicks back in, like, oh, I'll never experience this Nine of Pentacles and Ace of Wands anywhere else. And now on top of that, I'm tired because I put everything I wanted or everything I could into this. Now I don't really feel interested in pursuing something that might be kind of better for me because I've decided to stay for the monetary benefits, right? And that could go both ways in love or business. So it really just depends. So consider that a warning. If you do feel like you are overworking yourself, you can expect a payout for sure. But be cautious that you're not staying solely because of this one-time improvement if, in spite of this, you are still generally unhappy. I'm seeing this also for some folks that might be with someone considering divorce. We have the Justice here as additional clarifiers, the Three of Wands, and the Page of Cups. Some of y'all are real hopeful that a situation that you might have known for a very long time, I'm getting 7 years now, you feel like, hey, they want to reconcile. Things are getting better. Yes, let's go. I was thinking about divorce, but truthfully, I think we might be able to make this happen. That is completely within your scope of freedom to do and choose for yourself. Absolutely. Right? I urge you to just use your discernment and ask yourself if where you are is healthy. And if there is truly a possibility of things improving, you are being fair with yourself in seeing when that falters. If this person is wearing a mask with you, right? Be honest with yourself so that you don't delude yourself into believing a situation is improving when really it was one attempt at reconciling so that you can accept what will be the new norm. Okay? That is what I am getting. I know that hits kind of deep for some of you. Again, take as it resonates. That may not be you, and if it's not, that is perfectly okay. For others of you, though, I am seeing this crazy jump out of a really toxic situation where honestly it's almost like a drop the mic feeling where you're like, listen, my side gig is blowing up, so guess what, boss, my termination starts right the F now. Listen, bye. You know what I mean? Like that feeling of just that really boss, I'm tired of your crap, I've done everything I possibly could, and this is what I'm doing for myself. And if it's not physical, again, it's just that mental disconnect of saying, you know what, it might just be perspective for me. I've been looking at this in a way of, believing that maybe this has been harder on me than it actually has. Maybe I should have asked for help. Maybe instead of believing that I should have been the only one doing this alone, I could have just reached out to someone, and then kind of putting the sword in that and saying, that's where my obsession was coming from. That's where my sleepless nights were coming from. That's why I was feeling so bad about myself and feeling so incapable, was because I was trying to do a job that wasn't meant to be done by just one person, right? More than one person had to do this to make it work. And so knowing this, I will proceed differently. But I am seeing for you, Scorp, that there will be clarity here in its own way. Maybe not in the way you were hoping for it, but you will feel very empowered by the time the situation resolves. Okay? So Scorp, I'm gonna go ahead and just take this straight over to the extended reading. And honestly, I'm just gonna because I'm just seeing how all these different storylines converge. I'm seeing, for some of you, this Queen of Pentacles is a really important person, okay? I'm going to get some clarity around this Queen of Pentacles and some advice here. And I'm also going to dip into the Devil energy here, into the outcome. A little clarifier there, and see what the advice would be with that energy in particular. And I'm going to pull some advice for you, just some general advice. So in whatever way is relevant to you, just general advice on how to proceed through the situation in terms of the block of the Seven of Cups and confusion and all of that. What the guidance is for you to move past the block and to how to proceed forward. Okay, so Scorp, thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. It's been a pleasure. I love steeping in your energy. I am also a fellow Scorp, so Scorpio squad, let's go. Okay, so all right, babies, I'm gonna see you in the extended if you will meet me there, and if not, I will check you out at the next reading. Okay, I love you. Have a great day, and kisses.